Good evening, friends. The second part of the double header. We are discussing now a man who's rising almost from the ashes in the Phoenix. It is a brilliant last 6 months. I think more than 60 wickets, if I'm not wrong, in Ranji for Aquib Nabi.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, just from nowhere, Jammu Kashmir, tough. Saurav Ganguly has already said that he's seeing Nabi in the colors. Looks like he's going to be selected either for Sri Lanka or for New Zealand. I think he's going to be selected for New Zealand along with Akashdeep, Siraj, and Bumrah. Sudeep, my take.
Yeah.
We start with you. As we see probably the end of Shami and carrying on from Shami, another Islam guy, another guy from the Muslim community. Do you think Akib Nabi will now finally fulfill the dream which Parvez Rasool, Imran Malik could not fulfill from Jammu Kashmir?
Yeah. Umran Malik is a very sad case because he had a lot of potential. We could not live up to his potential, mainly basically due to fitness issues.
Yeah, yeah.
But Akeem Nabi seems to be, very match fit bowler, with lot of potential. He has a specialist, in swinging the new ball both ways. That is a very rare specialty in Indian bowlers, and he can swing the ball both ways. In fact, you will be surprised, he has earned the nickname, because of his lethal in swing there. He has earned the nickname, Dale Steyn of Baramulla. People call him, nowadays, he has earned this nickname, Dale Steyn of Baramulla. So it speaks volumes, of about, and this, you correctly pointed out 60 wickets in this Ranji Trophy. This is a 92-year-old record, This is a 92-year-old record. No fast bowler has taken so much wickets in a single edition, and which Ranji Trophy, which he has managed. So I think he is definitely, if everything goes right, he maintains his fitness. I'm sure that we will find him in the New Zealand tour. I think he's very soon he will make his debut.
The good part, Sudeep, is he's like Glenn McGrath, which we saw in the semi-final. He
Yeah.
bowls at 130-35, not more than that, but bowls at one side of the wicket. I mean, I have not seen him spray at all.
No,
So good is
what is
accurate
more important also, he can swing the ball both ways. That is a big thing
at that speed, which
at that
I
speed.
think he'll be very, very handful in New Zealand
New
and
Zealand,
England. I think
England,
England,
England
whenever he
conditions,
goes.
even South Africa and other things. He will be very
Yes, I think he's a
handful.
good pickup for next year World Cup also. The ODI
Yeah,
World Cup
yeah,
could be a
yeah.
real good because
Very.
there's a lot of bounce in that World Cup.
And the best part is, he can bat also a little bit. He's not a
Yes,
bunny with
that
the
can be
ball. He's not
developed.
a
We are
bunny
coming
with the
into
bat.
that. We are coming into that.
Uh,
Thanks, Sudip. Really good point you made. Ishanjan, what do you take? What is your take on Akim Nabi?
See, right now at the current moment after the post T20 World Cup victory, because we need to find out because we are having abundant batsmen and batting all rounders and bowling all rounders in our hand. But we right now require the things that we are looking for is a proper fast bowler, genuine who can bowl at 133, 134 kilometer per hour speed, and he can also move the ball. And deliberately, he's a very good bowler. And Akib Nabi is a very good bowler who can maintain the proper line length, and even he can move the ball in both the direction. That means he has both the that means off cutter and even he's having good in swing in his hand, and even the outswing also he can move the ball in both the direction, and often he can even that means make the seam bowling counts when that means in case if the ball gets old, it's a very good it's a option because this is the like as we were having a program on Mohammad Shami, he can be a very he can be a very good alternative for Mohammad Shami. He a very good replacement in fact for Mohammad Shami because and he also have the he can score some odd 40-50 runs also at the that means in the tail of the innings he can even score some odd 40-50 runs. And the main thing is that he can bowl in both the that means in new ball he has a that means he has the skill to bowl in new ball as well as he can make the ball count when the ball gets old also. That means after 15 or 16. So at the moment he is the number one candidate. Even that means there might be some other heads going on who might be they might be on a at a that means they are, as per to them, might be we need to check out him in the IPL. But I will say rather we need to bank on him at the moment, and we need to. This is the moment where we need to show our that means dividend, put our dividend into him, because he's the one, and he's already at the watch. Remember, a fast bowler is at his peak of his time, comes at around 31 to 33, and he's very proximate to it. His age is at right now 28, and he is doing at his best. So it is the correct time. Exactly by the time 2027 World Cup will come into play, he will be very close to 30. So it's the best time for him to, because as he has already showcased his talent, and as he has already proved a point in the our domestic circuit, so there is no harm to, because we need some alternative who can, because alternative, we need a very good alternative for Mohammad Shami. It's not easy to replace someone, a bowler like Mohammad Shami so easily. It's not at a whisker you can't get a replacement of Mohammad Shami. You need to give him, because there are still 1.5 years time for the next World Cup. So this is the moment where you should give him the opportunity in the next the bilateral or trilateral series which will be on the road. This is the time where we should give him the opportunity. And by the time World Cup comes, we should make him prepare. He can be, because in South Africa, because the World Cup is going to take place in South Africa, where we require some fast bowlers, fast bowling, and this the who can do the seam movement will be very much handful. Handy, it will be very much handy. We have seen
So
Mohammad Siraj
you and
performing well
Sudeep
in
are
South
both,
Africa.
you and Sudeep are both agreeing that Nabi can be a handful and can be a good replacement for Shami. But I have a question. I'll come back to
Yes,
Lishan.
yes.
I have a question. Sami is a death bowler. His Yorker is his best strength. We all know Sudeep. And when he was the peak, Shami used to bowl at 145 and hit the deck.
Yeah.
Do you think with 128, 129 speed, the speed is not going to improve, but 135 max, that speed, Aquib Nabi can be as lethal as Shami? I know he's going to swing okay, but will he be lethal as Shami with no hitting the deck? Because he doesn't hit the deck. So
Yeah,
they,
he doesn't hit the deck, but but his swing and the seaming ability, if you remember there was one Pakistan bowler, if you remember, Mohammad Asif, you remember,
very,
he
very,
used
very, very good bowler, but didn't play much.
he used to bowl at 130s, but he was deadly. But no batsman could play him,
And Mohammad Asif was a rare bowler because all the other, Waqar,
And he-
Wasim, Amir,
Mohammad Asif.
Mohammad Yusuf,
yeah,
Aqib Javed, they were all around
they were,
140. Because
I mean,
Imran, Pakistan bowlers have historically been 135, 140.
135, 140 plus. They were all
Even
145
Plus,
because
almost of them
Bhubaneswar were
140.
also.
and he was bowling at between 125 to 130. He was absolutely unplayable. The similar
Unplayable.
is the
Mohammad
case
Asif.
with Aquib Nabi also. So this is something he does not rely on his pace. He works on the ball. Both seam and swing. The mixture of seam and swing. So that is that is one thing. It is good. That will he can sustain more at the international level, provided he maintains his form. The fitness, he can maintain his fitness also. Tear away fast bowlers, they are
He
always,
played 23 test matches but picked up 105 test wickets
can you
at
imagine
an
Mohammad
average of
Asif?
23, 5 wickets. Remarkable.
So
And
he's
51, 48 ODI wickets at 38. Remarkable. That also is remarkable.
absolutely. I'm telling you now, Mohammad Asif, that's what comes to my mind. The moment it is call it pace, not pace is not always the criteria. At times, seaming and swinging. These are also qualities which you have to take into account.
Ishanjan, back to you. Do you think at the age of 30, is going to be 30, I just saw, Nabi will be 30 in September. You said 31 to 33 is when pace bowlers peak. I disagree because we have seen Stephen Broad, we have seen Jimmy Anderson, we have seen a lot of English bowlers.
Richard Hadley.
Richard Hadley especially, of course, I'm coming to that. Wasim Akram, a rare exception. But most of the bowlers, even Kapil Dev started maturing after 83, he was 25,
Imran
26.
Khan. Imran
So
Khan.
do you think at 29, when he's making his debut at 29, and in Ranji and of course in New Zealand will not be the same, he's a good bowler, but do you think at 29, will he be a real good, because Shami made his debut at the age of 23. Do you think at the age of 29, he really will be a good replacement for Shami at the age of 29, 30? Because by the time he plays New Zealand, he will be 30. So at 30, can he add some value to India? And Bowling is my question, Ishanjan. Adding value.
See, as I was pointing out, that this is the right time. The platform. The main question is the platform. The platform was missing by this point of time. So now is the perfect platform. Now he is getting that platform to stand. And whatever 28, 29, it's a good time to give an entry. And if he plays I can understand that fast bowling or the pace, that means the seam bowling. In seam bowling, even he is not a good. He is a seamer. He's basically a seamer. He's not a some that much of fast bowler. So in that cases, there have been lot of other instances. Yeah, like as was Anderson is a very good. Although he entered, but in the amid he was being that means X from the team, because that time Steve Harmison and Jonathan Hogarth was being given a nod, and he was being benched, and again he came back later on. Even Stuart Broad up to some extent, but again, but he made a solid comeback again. In fact, at some point of a Mohammad Asif, as was rightly pointed out, Mohammad Asif also he was also at around ticking, his clock was ticking around 130, 131. But he was a very accurate swing bowler. I must say, if we used to term Wasim Akram as the Sultan of swing, then we should have called him as a swing master, because at a speed of around even Bhuvaneshwar Kumar also. In fact, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Praveen Kumar also. So there have been lot of instances, and because since now it is a high time that if he plays at all for 7, 8 years also, if he's having in his hand, okay, we need, we need it, because the next World Cup is taking place in South Africa. We need a good pacer at the moment, and he can be a very handy alternative. He can be a very handy alternative ready for Mohammad Shami. And as you were rightly pointing out, that Mohammad Shami still ticks around 135, 136. If at all by the
I saw
that means
Shami
on
bowling at 140 in the semifinals. He bowled at 140
one,
plus.
but you still remember Bhuvaneshwar Kumar hasn't ever ticked more than 134, I
30.
think. 130, 134. But he was having a very accurate that means swing of action. Although gradually as he grew old, his ball as that means swing got blatant away, faded away. As like Richard Hadley when he was, because Richard Hadley also exited cricket lot early. Still Kapil Dev, I remember still Imran Khan, Richard Hadley, they all exited. Jan Botham all exited, but Kapil Dev was still persisting, and at the moment, that means he has to leave by the time that means he left cricket at the age of 36. But they all took that means in but Imran Khan also, although Imran Khan was little aged, in the 92 World Cup he played, but that he just actually did only the captaincy, and only in the final he played one captain's knock of valuable 72. Otherwise, he hardly that point of time he was mainly faded away, and on the request of Benazir Bhutto, he was being brought to in order to only captain in order to, because that team required a leader at that point of time, so he was. So if it is a high time that we can, because see we require such a bowler who, that means who can bring you wickets both in old ball and new ball, and he's the right
So
candidate for that.
you think Shanjan, his lack of speed is not going to be an issue, and also his age, that his experience. I mean, we mostly
And he
bowlers
can gradually
make a
improve his
debut at a young
pace.
age. He's making his debut at 30. So you think 30 is not a problem? Making debut after playing so many years of first class cricket, because there's a
That
difference
won't
between
be any
first class
problem.
cricket and
That
test
won't be any
cricket.
problem. That won't be any problem. Even at the age of, even at 28, 29 also, he can pick up his pace also. At the when he will get some international exposure, at that point of
His
time, it
pace
will
might come up.
he
Very
can
true.
run.
Very true.
And in nurture of some good coaches around, because he will get more explore towards some international coaches. So in that cases, he will that means he can excel. He can even excel with his speed also, and as well as he can bring more accuracy also into the bowling. offense speed doesn't see Bumrah. Jasprit Bumrah has cut down his speed. Bumrah is right now bowling at around 133, 134. But one care is
Bumrah
very
has
much
cut down his
accurate.
speed very correctly. He's cut down his speed.
And in right now at this point of time, Sami has also, because of the age, considering the age, they were at a pace bowlers need to curtail their pace. But the one thing, accuracy and the skill, that means the skill to move the ball in both the directions and be to that means bring the seam in action for with the both old ball and the new ball. The skill is going to come into play.
Fair
Another
enough.
Knowing
thing,
that
Thank you,
yeah.
Ishan.
South
Another
Africa,
thing I
he will
think,
very handy.
yeah. Another
Correct.
thing is, we need a bowler, for the next 4-5 years, because knowing very well Bumrah won't be there for all the matches, test matches. So we
And
need,
Bumrah may retire from red ball. That is the
yeah.
point. May
So
retire.
we need a bowler, who
Even
can
the South
perform
Africa, this
consistently,
Ngidi,
in all the test matches, consistently take wickets. We need someone because right now, if you see Siraj, Akashdeep or Prasidh
even
Krishna,
the South African
they are not
Ngidi also
consistent.
just winning this
They
T20
are
World
not
Cup.
consistent actually.
Yeah, true. So I think that if you look at the battery, and this I was discussing with another journalist friend, very true. One of the reasons he said that we are failing badly in test matches because this next line after Bumrah and Shami is not there.
They're
Because
not consistent
Akashdeep
at
is
all.
promising, but Mukesh, Prasidh Krishna, Harshit Rana is a horrible shit. I mean, that is what
Yeah,
everyone is accepting.
absolutely.
Horrible. Harshit Rana needs to go out immediately. I don't know when it will happen. And Nitish Reddy is more of a batsman. So I have a great doubt that both these players in the long run will not stay. So we need 2-3 bowlers, of which one would be, I think, Aquib Nabi. And we need to look at another 2 bowlers because there's a transition, it seems like. I don't see Bumrah beyond 27 World Cup. I do not see him, to be very fair.
Yeah.
Beyond 27, he will be 33, I think, this year. 32 or 33. So I do
But
not see him because
he'll cut down on his number of engagements actually, as far as test
I
cricket
think he
is
will not.
concerned.
As I was reading an article today morning, he will cut down on his ODIs also because he will hardly play ODI. So without playing ODI, going into the 27 World Cup, because now India is going to play, I think, hardly 10 T20s till the next year, and
Yeah.
only will play. I shared that Vimal Kumar interview where the itinerary he discussed. He says India is only going to play wherever the boards want them to play because of revenue. So now India has become a milking cow. Boards call India, they play. It is not that India want to play. So
Yeah.
India is becoming an important in terms of revenue generation.
Only
So I think
commercial.
25 ODIs and about 10 T20s. Again, what will happen is ये जो mixed match हो and hodgepodge. इसमें I think the cricketers will fail because no T20. Again, your T20 World Cup is 26. I mean, just taking a minute off. I think this T20 World Cup should be 4 years, not 2 years. This is absolutely nonsensical. This T20 World Cup for 2 years,
This is
every 2 years.
basically purely commercial consideration, nothing
Absolutely.
else.
Only for money, and this is bullshit. Nothing great is happening to cricket. No great cricketer is coming out of T20 World Cup. None of them. You again
World
play
Cup should
T20 World
always
Cup.
be 4 years.
Go to England again, you come back to India. I mean, like the World Cup, 50 World Cup, you have to play T20 World Cup after 4 years. I mean, you cannot, for the sake of money, game and play something. I mean, and you don't develop players also. And in the meanwhile, what happens is test matches also are going down the line. So that is my feeling. But you are right. I think we need 2-3 bowlers. One could be Nabi. We had to look at 2 or 3 more bowlers. Because Prasidh Krishna, I saw him in the semis. In the quarters, Prasidh Krishna is a good bowler, but I mean, good in domestic only. I do not see him bowling very well. Although he bowled the last test match brilliant. He bailed out.
I will tell another option. Mohit Jangra. Mohit Jangra is a very good option.
From?
Mohit Jangra.
From which country? Which state? From?
Mohit Jangra.
From which state? Jangra. Home state. Which state?
Nagaland.
Nagaland. Oh, I have not heard his name.
So
he'll be in the plate division. He's not in AB. He's in the plate division. AB, not ABC.
Turned up for Nagaland, but he is basically from Himachal Pradesh.
Whatever it is, Himachal, Nagaland, all these are in the plate division.
Even Indian Apple Tom is also a very good bowler.
We'll have to see who comes up next time. I think from Mumbai was 1 or 2 bowlers I am hearing.
Kerala. In Mumbai, you are having 2 good spinners.
But pace bowlers, we need some pace bowlers.
We'll have to see that. Yeah. So I think we now decide. I mean, we have decided that
Tushar Deshpande, I think, also.
Tushar Deshpande.
We'll have to see that. Yeah. We'll have to see. But Aquib Nabi, we are discussing, and we finally decide, Sudeep and Ishanjan, that Nabi is going to play. I
And
hopefully is selected.
what is
Itna
most
kuch discuss to
important,
kar rahe hai.
what is
Yeah.
most important, at this stage, the selector should not waste his years, important
That
years
is,
on
I am going to
for
tell you
by
right now.
playing him
Now,
India A matches.
way
He
the
should
way
straight
they
away be
destroyed
drafted
that
into
the
the
way they
Indian team.
destroyed that the way they destroyed Ishwaran, if
Yeah.
they now procrastinate and put him in India A and then in India,
No,
I
no,
mean
no,
that is
that
stupid.
he will waste his
If I
crucial
was a
years.
selector, I would rather put Sudeep Gharami straight away into the India side,
Exactly.
knowing that middle order issue. But now that they will put Sudeep Gharami in India, I know for sure they're going to put Harami in India and then they will put something. So
Yeah.
that is it. Thank you so much, Sudeep and Ishanjan. Thank you, really appreciate. And I think the second part of the doubleheader, we really understood why. And Shami, of course, looks that he's played his last, unfortunately. So we need as Indian cricket moves forward, we need a substitute. I mean, we need replacements and people coming up. So Aquib Nabi, one subject. And I sincerely hope that after Parvez Rasul and Umran Malik, there's at least one person who can take the mantle ahead. Well, Umran Malik was a very sad case. So I think from J&K, hopefully Aquib Nabi has a long career. Wishing him well, and I want to see him against New Zealand, because otherwise what happens, Sudeep, you in one end you say you play domestic cricket, other end you do not reward the domestic performance. That's exactly what is happening. Ajit Agarkar is simply looking blind eye to
He's
domestic
not
performance.
bothered about domestic matches, actually.
Nothing. He's bothered about nothing. I don't know what he's bothered.
He only
one
travels with
knows.
the Indian team, abroad.
And spends a lot of BCCI money. That's what he does.
I don't know
Yes.
why a selector needs to travel to Indian team to Australia.
I
and
don't
South
know,
Africa.
Ishanjan. In
He should
international
rather
matches,
turn
when
up
your
into
coach
that
is
matches of UP versus
Absolutely.
MP. He should turn out a UP versus Rajasthan match instead.
You have Ishanjan, you have a selector, you have a batting team, you have a unit, you have a coach, you have one selector and a coach already with the team in abroad, and then you have the chief selector going and
Why
spending
we
3
need a
months.
chief selector to travel all the way to England and Australia with the national team?
But you have one selector already with them. You're spending money of BCCI. Exactly. I mean, the chief selector going for an overseas tour, I really don't know. It beats me. Absolutely beats me.
Yeah.
Surprising. Very surprising. We were very surprised when Ajit Agar was in Australia. Very surprised. So thank you, Sudeep and Sanjan. We draw an end to this wonderful discussion we had tonight on the weekend on first Shami, and understood why Shami has been dropped. And now on definitely on Aquib Nabi, and we wish him well and hope that he becomes the first player to play this match from Jammu Kashmir and play it for a very long period of time. And we definitely want to see him in the New Zealand side. That's the wish from Round the Clock Cricket. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Good night.